Okay, started. Hello
Yes.
everyone, welcome to the Nepalese in Tech Community podcast. So today we have the Ankur Roy sir from Nepal and he's living in the Sweden maybe, probably, right?
Yeah. Yes. Probably in
Yeah.
Sweden.
So yeah. So great to have you sir. Thank you for
Thank you.
the
Great being
accepting
here.
the request. Yeah. So before jumping into the main questions and talked about regarding the taker and all the questions, I would like you to introduce by yourself.
Okay. Uncle Roy. I used to live in Nepal only 3 months ago, I guess. So I got my bachelor's, my CSIT, my bachelor's in computer science and information technology, which is a lot of like Nepalese graduates, I guess, get that one. Yeah, at ACHS College, affiliate DU. Then after that, I spent a couple of years in the Nepalese tech industry, largely with Genis Solution. If you've heard of that company, they resell AWS in Nepal mostly, and a couple of so. After that, the past few months, I have been living in Sweden, pursuing my master's degree in computer science at Uppsala
Okay.
University in Uppsala, Sweden. And currently, I
Hmm.
also work as a principal solutions architect for a company called Online Partner, and I largely work with Google Cloud and Google Workspace at the moment.
Okay. How it has been how much gap between your masters and between your bachelors?
That's an interesting question because there's with TU it's like there's an official gap and an actual gap. So officially it was supposed to end in 2020, but like anyone who studies CSIT or like most TU courses during that time probably knows like
Hmm.
they delayed the exam by over a year. And I finally did actually get all of my transcripts and everything done. And when I did that, it was around January 2022. And then start applying the following year around January 2023 for Sweden. And so yeah, applied for that. So maybe a year and a half, I would say, right? Maybe a year and a half,
Okay.
2 years.
Okay, that's nice. It's pretty good.
Mm.
I mean, I have heard you have pretty much good like gap like 4 to 5 years like that between your bachelor's and masters. I thought like that, but it's very
Uh,
little.
yeah, yeah. It's
I think
it
we
depends on how you count.
yeah
Yeah.
yeah, I think we have a Silpa D on here, but her device is not connected. Let
Okay.
me check. Should we connect the mic?
It's all right. But yes, while
Fine.
that's happening, I can talk a little bit about what I about. I guess let's start with what I'm doing at the university. I start again master's
Hmm.
program in computer science, and
Hmm.
one of one of the nicest things about this program is I choose all of my subjects. So like everything is optional. So like I just choose whatever I want to study from a list, which is very nice. It's just you have to do your thesis on your final semester, but other than that, everything is chosen by you. So it's very
Okay.
very flexible. It's very like you can basically choose how you want to proceed with the course.
Okay, you
Mm,
you can going dive into the whole computer science, and you
yeah,
can either choose the specific topic on that.
yeah. There are people who like it's very strange. There are 7 or like 8 different computer science programs, and it's like some of them are specific, some of them are like human computer interaction, and data science and image analysis, and like mine is more generic. It's just computer science, and most of them have very similar subjects, but it's like a little bit specialized for a couple of them. So like they basically everyone can choose from their from their like course topics, and then like the thesis has to be in your specific field for them, and I just can do my thesis in anything that's computer science related. um, and yeah, I've done a lot of stuff here. I work as a teaching assistant as well, so I do a little bit of TA work.
Hmm.
That's been nice. I work with the student union, right? I help them with
Hmm.
their website. For example, like right after this podcast, I'm going to go to a session where we just sit down, write code, and just develop the website.
Okay.
Um, yeah, I've done that. Let's see, what else have I done? A lot of things. Like there's a lot of things to do. So yeah, I work with what is called a student nation. So student nations are a concept that's very unique to Uppsala, where it's like so each student nation represents a different region in Stockholm, so in Sweden,
Hmm.
and
Yeah.
so all of them have their own like they have their own restaurants, they have their own headquarters, they have like their own student body that's made up of students, and it's run by students,
Hmm.
and they run events for students. So it's sort of meant for like different people from the different regions of Sweden who come to Uppsala, and they can just go to the student nation that's closest to their region and meet people from around that region. And the but like international students, you can just join any nation you want. But yeah, nations are a very very interesting concept. They're very good social concept. It's very good for socialization. So yeah, I help out at my nation as well, web design. So there's a lot of things. Obviously, one of the things that I do, which is what got you interested in having me on this podcast, is my podcast, which is Cooking with
Yeah.
Cybergas. If you can look that up on
Hmm.
Spotify, it's I do it with
Yeah.
my friend Thomas Gran, who's doing his
Hmm.
master's in image analysis, and so yeah, Tommy and I do that almost every week whenever we can find the time. Um, and that's also actually one of the great things about the university is there's resources for practically everything. So like we record the podcast, and there is a podcast
Hmm.
studio in the campus that we can book at any time. So I
Okay.
just go
Nice.
book book the studio, and everything is very simple. And
Okay.
there are multiple podcast studios you can actually book. There are two or three others everywhere around. There are 3D printer
Okay.
labs that you can book. There's like
Hmm.
tools, filmmaking equipment. You can. There is almost there are so many resources that you can just book whenever you want.
Hmm.
It's fascinating. It's like
Okay.
because like I guess the city is sort of built for students. So like
Hmm.
you can basically find a new thing to do every day if you want. If you want sports
Okay.
or technology or socializing, or if you even like want to work somewhere, like it's very easy to do. So yeah,
Okay.
it's actually it's been a really nice experience because there's
Hmm.
been a lot of things that you can experience here, and
Okay.
if you go to more events, you meet more people,
Hmm.
and if you meet more people,
Okay.
it's exciting. Yeah, it's socialization. Um,
Like
yeah, I think
my
yes, go ahead.
quick, yeah, my question is, as you are the teaching assistants and many more
Yeah,
on that campus, so how do you
yeah.
like approach it? Is that from like going into the Sweden, or before going to the Sweden you have applied from Nepal? How that process takes
No,
place?
it's just I applied it when I was on campus. So yeah, you can apply for
Okay.
it whenever you want, I guess. But it's like the app when the application opened like 2 weeks before I applied. So it's like I started last month. So it's like
Hmm.
it just basically opened up and I applied. So like it wasn't before; it was like during the semester.
Okay. Okay. How
Yeah.
many semesters are there for masters in computer science
Uh,
over the Sweden?
it is 4 semesters. Each semester
Four
is
semesters.
divided into 2 periods, 2 periods, and
Huh?
there are some courses that last only 1 period, some courses that go over 2 periods. So like
Hmm.
that's how it's like divided. And you can
Okay.
basically divide your workload where each semester you have to do like 30 credits, but you can divide it
Hmm.
so that maybe you want to do 20 credits the first period and then 10 the next period or something like that. You can even do
Okay.
like 35 the first period, 5 next. You can basically just choose how you want to structure it around that period.
Okay. Yeah. Credit means the subject like we got to choose.
Yes, so the minimum credits for a subject is 5 credits. There can be subjects of 7.5, 10, 15, 30 credits. And that's
Hmm.
just how you can divide stuff. Like the thesis itself is 30 credits. And there's
Okay.
like one more subject that's 30 credits. So it's like it's divided that way.
Okay. Got it. As you are also the representative of like as you have said before in Sweden,
Yeah.
most like in your role as international representative for the university, how do you
Yeah.
engage the international students community?
Oh, there's a couple of things that I do in that role. So the first thing is there is like a forum where you can ask international students that are in Uppsala about stuff. So they will like there's a web form. People will fill that web form and then they will send it to me, and then I will reply, okay, this is if, and I will help them in any way I can. The second thing, and
Okay.
this is like one thing I've been trying to get off the ground but like haven't been able to, is like I need to start doing webinars. So the webinar will basically
Hmm.
be like me introducing Uppsala University, what I've done in Uppsala, like all of the benefits of Uppsala, so all of that. So yeah, I've been hoping to do that. So like but I need to do it to any educational institution. So like I have some friends who teach at like CSIT university colleges, right? So like I've been contacting
Hmm.
them, trying to see if they can set up a webinar. And so yeah, hopefully like maybe next couple of weeks I'll have a webinar set up so that the people can discuss, because like the application period for next fall ends on January 15th. So I want to sort of like get in contact with, maybe do a webinar before then so that people can know about Uppsala if they want to apply.
Okay. Uh, and my question is like, why do you choose that Uppsala University as your choice?
Okay, that's interesting. So I don't have a specific reason. I would say so. Oh, I thought it was nice, and then like I like as I started looking into it, I was like, okay, this is a really nice university. This is like they are very involved in just student life and in like just activities and stuff. So like if you look at Uppsala, it's like it's one of the oldest universities in Europe. I think it's like one of the
Okay.
oldest, top 5 oldest universities in the world. So like they have been educating since like the 1400s. So, and like it has a lot of amazing, like, because when you're in Uppsala, like you are in the city of Uppsala, it's basically you are in the university all the time. It's divided in by a river. So north of the
Okay.
river is like the main city where like people live, and south is where all of the students live. And so student apartments, student nations, campuses, all of the things are south of the river. And when
Okay.
like in the summer when they break, like the city is apparently empty. So it's like it's a
Oh.
student city. It's like students going around and doing stuff. So it's all run by students for students. So it's like a
Hmm.
it's a very unique experience where it shows what young people can do and what students are. So yeah, that was which is a great thing about like Uppsala, which is why I recommend it, because like my experience here has been nothing but good. It's been amazing.
Okay. And during the study, like, what are the expectation of the other students? Why they have come to join the universities as you in the university,
Hmm.
let's say.
Okay, so yeah, that is interesting because in my whole time I have been here, even like Swedish among
Mm-hmm.
Swedish people, I have only met one
Mm-hmm.
person who studies here who is actually from Uppsala. Only one person.
Okay.
Everyone else comes
Oh,
from somewhere
that's
else.
interesting.
Yeah, because
Oh.
this is like where you come to study. So it's like everyone from different parts of Sweden, from different parts of the world, they come here and they study, and you know they all have their own reasons. So like I think we did a webinar at our first week where you had to point to
Mm-hmm.
the region of the world you're coming from, and it showed on the big screen. It counted everyone, and the
Mm-hmm.
most people that came here were from China, and then
Okay.
France, and then India.
Okay.
And like it's very interesting
Indeed.
because like a lot of them don't come here for like all the semesters. They come here for one semester or 1 year in like exchange programs. Like two of my roommates in my apartment, they're from one of them is from Spain. She's here only
Mm-hmm.
for this semester. One of them is from Canada. He's only here for the year. And one of my other roommates was from China. He's here for like the whole 2 years of his master's. So yeah, it's like it's very diverse.
Okay.
Some people there's a various like diversity of reasons that people come here.
Okay. If the semesters are the 2 years, then why people
Yeah,
can take a break for 1 year?
they can. Yes, there's like there are some positions in the student union itself where you
Mm-hmm.
can apply for it and say that I'm going to
Mm-hmm.
take a break from my studies for 1 year and I will work full time
Okay.
at the union, and like you'll get paid for
Mm-hmm.
working full time and then just resume your
Oh,
studies. So yeah, there's a lot of like interesting. It's basically you choose whatever you want to do, whatever you want,
okay.
because another thing that's interesting here is all classes are not compulsory.
Hmm.
All classes are optional.
Okay.
Yes,
Wow.
you mostly you just have to do assignments and I guess exams wherever. Like even a lot of like courses don't have exams. Some do, some do not. So like
Hmm.
basically, they should
Okay.
choose whatever you want to do, however you want to do it.
Okay.
So yeah,
And
and
my next
basically,
question
yeah.
is, as you are the solution architect, am I
Hello.
audible? Okay. As you are the
Yes,
solution
yes,
architect or at online partner, so
yes.
how has your experience been in shaping like problem solving and the project management at that company right
Hmm.
now, like you has been working?
Okay, so it's been interesting because I've only been working there for 1 month so far. It's a new job, you know.
Wow.
So, but they brought me on. Okay, you're just maybe having a little trouble with her internet connection. That's fine. I will just riff. Well, I riff. I think if I want to answer her questions, and oh, hang on. So, hello, audience. It's just you and me here. So I will, in fact, plug my show. Uh, let me bring it up here. So I do a little podcast as I mentioned before, called Cooking with Cybergas. If you would like to check it out. Hello, Ursha. That's fine. So your question about solutions architect, right? Um,
Yeah.
so yeah, only been on the job for 1 month. But it's been interesting because basically what you do, or as what is expected of me in the job, is the client will have some sort of query or problem, right? The potential client. And
Hmm.
then I will tell them, okay, this is how you can solve it, solve your
Hmm.
problem. And then, after that, like, hopefully we get sort of a contract of like for consultation so that we can help
Hmm.
them become better. And one of the things that my good mentor and my boss Frederick Linder, who's the CEO of Online Partner, always tells me is that give them two things that will solve their problems, and one thing that will make them go, oh wow, we can also do that. So you do that in the meeting, and you always look to solve their hardest. And then another thing that you ask is, okay, is there a difficult problem for you that we can try to solve? And that's basically my job. It's like I will ask them, and if I can solve it, it's amazing, because like if you solve their hardest problem, you're a hero, right? You've managed to show your value. And if you cannot, then you can give a reason why you cannot
Yeah.
solve that problem. So yeah, that's basically been my entire
Okay.
job. Few meetings, trying to get us even more higher on like the Google Cloud tier of partners.
Got it. And did you get a job from this, like getting into the Sweden, or from Nepal
Hmm.
before going to the Sweden at online partner?
No, no, no. I was looking for a lot of jobs. I was applying for jobs. You know, just I applied for a lot of
Hmm.
writing jobs, a lot of like development jobs and all that. How I how I came in contact with Online Partner is, so I posted on the Google Cloud forums when I got all 11 of the Google Cloud certifications.
Hmm.
I posted on that forum, right?
Hmm.
And basically, Frederick, our CEO, he saw it. He was looking for something else. He saw it, and then like he emailed me and he invited me to come over and just to have a meeting, and that's how we sort of came into this agreement.
Okay.
So
Like
yes, you'll find your
like
job in
you,
the
as you
strangest
have, yeah, as you have said that you
place. Yeah,
have put your 11s of the certificates right in Google form. So my question is,
yeah.
how, what motivates you to complete so many of the courses and so many of the on Coursera or any of the
Uh,
platform?
okay, so motivation is okay. My motivation is, it's not because it is easy, but because it is convenient.
Hmm.
It's because
Hmm.
for the resources that I had, that was the biggest thing I
Hmm.
could do. It was like, okay,
Okay.
these are like all 11 Google Cloud certifications. If you did them by yourself, paying in full, would cost you around
Hmm.
$2,200. But if you are a Google partner, you can get vouchers, and by getting vouchers, you
Hmm.
can you can basically like get more get those certifications for free. And like I will, and Gen
Okay.
Solution at the time was also a Google partner, so I could basically
Hmm.
get the certifications for free if I figured out a couple of things. I had to do a lot of course stuff. I had to do a lot of like challenge labs, so it wasn't easy, but it was convenient because the, the resources that I needed to do this, I had. So it's like,
Hmm.
this is the biggest thing that I can do, and I have the resources to do it. So yeah, I did that.
Okay. In my case, if I do the course, I wouldn't take any of the certificate. I would just leave it. If I do the course in the Coursera or any
Hmm.
of the Udemy, then
Yeah.
I would complete the course, but I would leave the certificate. Like I wouldn't take it. If I take it, then
Hmm.
I would. like it will, I will not like save it for later use. I'll just
Mm.
like misplace it. Like I would
Yeah.
I have like no any certificate collected till
Mm.
now. Yeah,
That's fine.
basically
Like there are a lot
mine.
of people. Yeah, there are a lot of people I know who have no certifications, but like have a lot of knowledge. It's the reason you get certifications is not because of it is to test your knowledge, but more than
Hmm.
that, it is to tell people that you have this knowledge. It is sort of to market yourself, to say, okay, I am a person who can get things done. So it's like it's not enough to do work. You have to always
Hmm.
show your work, show your value. So so
Yeah,
like
that's
most of the
right.
time, like it is figuring out how to show your value.
Yeah, that's right.
Hmm.
And my next question is regarding like AWS user group, as you have mentioned.
Yes.
In yeah,
Hmm.
so can you tell about that AWS user group in Nepal?
Um, yeah, I was involved in it. I made like when they had the AWS Community Day, I made the website. I was at a lot of AWS user group events. I'm an AWS community builder and whatnot, and yeah, that was a lot of stuff that I did with AWS. And I still do it. I'm still a community builder. I still do blogs and whatnot. And it's nice. It's like nice having a user group because
Hmm.
there's a community that you can talk to and you can stay connected with. Um,
Yeah.
and yeah, it's just, that's one of the great things about user groups like that is it's great for networking. It's great for help
Hmm.
because like one of the things we used to do at Genis, and I think a lot of the community builders there still do, is
Hmm.
you can basically post on the user group. Like we have a Slack that's for AWS community builders, and if you post there,
Hmm.
like people from AWS who developed that product will be the people who will answer
Hmm.
you and like give you feedback on your work. So like it's very like you're basically networking with people high up in the tech industry, like AWS itself, and those programs. Like it's not just AWS who has it; it's Google Cloud has it, all of Google has it, and Microsoft has it for Microsoft MVPs and whatnot. So yeah, it's like those programs are very valuable to that company, but also to the people who use their products. So that's how just basically where the importance of user groups comes from.
Okay. Yeah, that's right. So if you need to build the community from scratch,
Mhm.
like you have the zero community, I mean zero people in your community, and how to build from scratch.
Well, I have never done that before, but I know you may know him. Like I know a guy, Mr. Desh Deepak Dhobi, if you know him.
Uh,
He yeah, also works at Genesis, customer support guy.
okay.
So he lives in the Midwestern region, right? He doesn't
Hmm.
live in Kathmandu, right? So
Huh.
he made a new user group in the Midwest region that does like AWS users group stuff in that region. So like he basically started that from nothing. That's just like his personal project. So like if you are willing to do it and if you're like passionate about doing it, you can do it. I think.
Hmm. Got it.
Yeah.
So now let's talk about your podcast, Cooking with the Cyber Gases. I
Yeah.
did I pronounce it right?
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
So what is it about? Can you
But I
tell
don't know.
me?
It
Yeah.
changes weekly. Like it's just me and my friend talking about tech. So yeah, Tommy, my friend, he's
Okay.
from Australia.
Hmm.
He's Swedish because his father was Swedish, so he has Swedish citizenship and Australian citizenship. So which is why he came
Hmm.
here because like in Australia, like
Hmm.
he would have had to pay a lot of money for his master's degree, but because he's Swedish, he can
Okay.
he can do his master's degree here in Sweden for free. So he came here, and
Okay.
we got to
Nice.
talking. Like we had one class together, and I found the podcast to do, and so like I messaged him like, "Do you want to do a podcast?" And he was okay. So we did a podcast, and every week we just talk about stuff. We just talk about like, okay, this thing happened in tech or something like that. It's just us having a conversation because we're two people who worked in the industry for a while. He worked as a developer, and
Hmm.
he did a lot of development in like fintech and stuff. But he felt like he didn't want to do that for his whole life. He wanted to like get a master's degree and see what happens after that. So that's why he started on his master's degree. And we talk about a lot of stuff, like just about him, his life, my life, how we live in Uppsala, and the things we do. So yeah, that's basically what it's about. But it's a technological podcast because like that's what we usually default to because we're both like tech guys. So we talk a lot about tech.
Nice. And having lived and worked in the both Nepal and the Sweden, so how have the cultural difference influenced your approach to
Hmm.
work and collaboration?
Hmm. Okay, that's interesting. So yeah. So what would be the difference between here and there? I guess I'll start with like the companies. So
Yeah.
Genis was a company that at the time I left, I think had 130, 140 employees, just between like
Hmm.
Nepal, UK, and all those places. And Online Partner has about 30 to 35 employees, right? It's like it's a smaller
Yeah.
company, like in size, but they have a lot of like different clients, and like they are so integrated into sort of the Google environment. Like I'm talking to you on this Chromebook that they gave me,
Hmm.
so it's just really nice. And they have a lot of like integrations with that. And it's a different company because I think they both take different approaches, but like work culture wise, I would say like one of the things that is very different here is it's like hmm, so um it's one I guess one personal differences for me is the commute, because like in Jedis, the place that my office was basically walking distance from my house. Here, I have to get out of my apartment, go to train station, go 65 kilometers from Uppsala to Stockholm, then like get on another subway 3 kilometers down, then into my office, and then back every day. And I can do that feasibly because like that's incredible like transportation that you have in Sweden. But
Hmm.
yeah, that besides that, like culturally, I think like the biggest change is like um it's weird. It's like here people are
Hmm.
not polite, but like for treating foreigners, they're great because like every time I'm in a conversation, like, and I don't speak Swedish, I'm getting better at speaking Swedish, but everyone understands the process. So like they're very kind and they will always speak in English to me, and help me along. They're really nice people here. And I think one thing that does like not matter between them is age. Like at Genis, most of the people were within my age group or age range, right?
Hmm.
And a lot of my colleagues in my department right now are 45, 50 years old. And so like it's an age group. Yeah, but that you don't feel it because like everyone treats each other like in Nepal it's of course Hazur,
Right.
Tapai, and all that. It's like here everyone's like equal, even though most of the people are much older than I am.
Oh, Okay.
Mm,
Nice.
yeah.
And can you share your challenging project or a problem that you have encountered in your career or you have approached solving it for?
Okay. Let's see. One of the most difficult problems you can face is well, I'll give you two problems. The first problem that is very difficult that you can face is something that no one has ever done before, and I
Hmm.
had to do that just where um you basically had we basically had to do was, so the challenge was that Unity images had to be rendered into
Hmm.
like a specific Unity file, but to doing that, like the client did that on their own laptop, and it took them 5 hours. So we were like,
Hmm.
just upload the file, and we will do it on the cloud. And there were challenges because Unity only works well with Windows, so you had to get a Windows server, and you had to figure out how to connect the file system of the upload into the Windows server, and then once it was done, how to like then put it back in a place where the client could download it. And then you had to figure out so many different things to do that, and like there was very little documentation. There's still a documentation that
Hmm.
Sagar Newbane, if you know him, right? He still works at Genesis. I told him to write blogs about it, and with those
Okay.
blogs, he became a community builder as well. I was basically like, okay, write blogs about this. This
Nice.
this will be very interesting. Yes, uh,
Yeah.
and one problem that I encountered with a client here in with like was we were doing some stuff with PowerShell, just like connecting Office 365 Go Workspace, right? And an error that we got was like something went wrong. Please try again, right?
Hmm.
And nothing
Yeah.
else, just that error, and that's so confusing because like there's nothing specific. Okay, can you tell me where it went wrong? And they're like, no, we can't tell you. And so we had to raise that all the way up to Google Support because you can't, you if it's like that nondescript, it's that confusing, then you can't do anything. Like it's just you just hope that you find the error later. Yeah,
Okay.
it's like, yes. So yeah, that's the kind of stuff that can happen. Those are the challenges. Those are technical challenges, but there are of course
Hmm.
challenges of like mental challenges and just being there well mentally, and not giving up on a problem and finding ways
Hmm.
around all of these difficulties. And to do that you have to be persistent. you know it's
Okay.
the only way you can lose in that situation is to give up, so you basically have to not give up.
Hmm.
That's
Yeah.
the mentality you have to put into it.
That's right. Yeah. And my next topic would be like IELTS and GRE one because that yeah, that's also interesting topic as well.
Mm.
And my question is like if someone wants to do it, do they do IELTS before the GRE or after the like what would be the uh, like did you get my point? This question
Yeah, yeah. I'd say it's like
steps.
personal preference. It's like whatever is preferable to you, I think. But I did
Okay.
IELTS before I did GRE.
Hmm.
So I don't know. It's like I'm not probably not the best person to ask because I once did my IELTS, the one that I got the 8.5 on. I did that with 1 day of study. So it's like I don't know how I
Wow,
do it.
that's
Yeah, it's like
great. Like that's 8.5 is great. Like it's great number in
hmm.
one day.
Yes,
Just like
1 day.
crazy.
Yeah, I didn't even study. It's like I just need to do the IELTS. But yeah, it's just work at your own pace. Just to work however you feel
Okay,
comfortable. So you will know what is comfortable for you.
got it. I think I was thinking like, is there a rule like it should be done before or like after? So
No,
that's
no,
why
no.
I have put
Yeah.
this question forward.
Mm.
Yeah, that was my all questions. And if you have the any like anything that I missed to ask, then you can put forward that you want
No,
there
no,
that anything.
those were nice questions. Great questions. But yeah, it's been nice being on this podcast. So if I suppose, like, I guess there are a few things we could discuss. Like, for example, like how many Nepalese people or the Nepalese community are in Sweden, if we're talking about it.
Yeah.
So in Uppsala itself, there are around only like seven
Hmm.
people from Nepal. I know because like we
Seven.
all have a WhatsApp.
Okay.
Seven. So
Hmm.
it's like we all have like a WhatsApp group that we created. So like around like Dosai time,
Okay.
and yeah, and
Hmm.
like Stockholm, I think there are more people, but yeah, here like specifically in Uppsala, there are very few. A lot of people go to Göteborg, which is in Chalmers, which is like south of the country. But very
Hmm.
few people around here. But yeah, yeah, it's like you find a few people. There's just like whoever you can find. But that's basically how it's been. So yeah, let's see. Yeah, there's a lot of other stuff to do. I recently started a radio show on like student radio, where like one of my friends,
Okay.
he will
Hmm.
teach me how to converse in Swedish. So it's called
Okay.
Jag kommer inte, which is like I don't know in
Hmm.
Swedish, and so it's like
Okay.
Jag känner inte, yeah, and it's interesting. So like I met him at the student nation that I usually go to, like the one that I'm a member of, which is Osgoda. But
Hmm.
yeah, there's a lot of events that happen here. There's a formal dinner almost every week, which is called a gask. If you
Hmm.
ever want to go to gasks, by the way, are amazing. If you ever come to Sweden, you should go to gask. And like it's very rare in other parts of Sweden to have a gask. They'll have a gask once or twice a year. Here, during your student life, you can do it
Okay.
once weekly. If you, yeah, there's a lot of gasks. I once went to two gasks in a week because like there are different gasks. And like it's very different from other parts of Sweden as well, which is what makes Uppsala so unique. It's like because it is more formal than other parts of Sweden,
Hmm. Okay.
which is interesting because I've met other people from other like universities who graduated. That, like we never had anything like this in that university, but in Uppsala it's very different. Um,
Okay.
but yeah, it's been a very enjoyable way, just just taking the subjects that I want to take, and living here is interesting. It's one of the reasons that I feel in Kathmandu food is very expensive. Yeah, so in Uppsala it's around the same, which is why I know like in Kathmandu it's very expensive because I hear everyone else complain about how expensive food is
Okay.
here, and it's like this is like
Okay.
around the same price as in Kathmandu. It's like which is why
Okay.
it's interesting, uh, and yeah, I will probably be traveling a lot because like one of the things about my visa that I currently have is a Schengen visa, so I can travel to other countries in Europe just freely because of my visa, and yeah, so
Nice.
yeah, that's like you can go to conferences and stuff in other countries in Europe and in the European Union, which is very nice. Um, and basically, yeah, that's how it's been going. It's been an exciting place. Hmm. Okay, so yeah,
Okay.
it's been very exciting place to live. There's a lot of opportunities, and
And like
yeah,
if you got to, yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Hmm. Like if you got to one person visa in the specific country, in any country inside the Europe, then you can travel any of the countries inside the Europe.
Yes, yes,
Okay,
any
that's
country in the European
interesting.
Union. Yeah.
Okay.
Mm. So it's an interesting system, but it's like it's it's an amazing system for like a lot of Europeans who want to just travel to. It's truly a European Union, Uh,
Hmm.
but yeah, it's been past days just living life here there, and I guess Shilpa, will she be joining us or will she not? If she had any questions.
Actually, yeah, actually, she has a device not connected issue. It's showing
Hmm.
they will need to connect their mic before you can
Hmm.
add them to the stream. It's showing like that. So I
Ah,
think is the issue with this
interesting.
device.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's no problem. She'll figure it out. But going back to one of your points about like difference in work culture,
Hmm.
everything in Sweden is scheduled. So, for example, the room I'm in
Okay.
right now, it's like a group room, and you have to schedule it on a time-rated thing. So that's for the university. My work also has
Hmm.
this, where we have like 6 or 7 meeting rooms, and we can schedule them on Google
Okay.
Calendar. So yes, everything is very scheduled.
Okay.
Yeah,
That
that's nice. Like,
interesting. Like a room. Yeah. I heard it first
yeah,
time like a room and all that stuffs are scheduled.
yeah. It's like
You
this
got
is
to
this is
like
just a book. Yeah, go ahead.
yeah, you got to stay at different places and different rooms by scheduling by yourself. You don't need to like stay in the one room at all the time. That would be the interesting.
Yeah, yeah. You can choose any room and book it basically. Uh,
Yeah.
yeah, there.
Yeah. It's
It's
yeah. Yeah, you can go on.
what was that?
I mean, you can like continue what you are saying.
Oh no, no, there was nothing. Yeah, please go ahead.
So I have nothing to like. I have all the
Oh,
questions are I
oh,
have asked. And nothing to ask.
right. Yeah, well, but there
So
probably are a lot of things that we have missed out, but that's fine. It's just how it is. But it's been enjoyable talking to you. You know, and
yeah, it
it's
has
been
been
great,
great
great.
talking to you. Yeah.
Hmm.
So shall I end?
Ah, of course. So it's been great. Everyone, thank you for watching this podcast.
Hmm.
Remember, I also shoot a podcast, Cooking with Cybergas. If you ever want to
Yeah.
give it a listen, we'd be happy with that. It's on Spotify and in a few other places as well. We're gonna get on more platforms, but yeah, usually you can find us on Spotify. And yeah, look out for more stuff. Like I also in Nepal I work with the HashiCorp user group that my friend Santosh Mainali he founded that. And yeah, a lot of things, a lot of, and if you are working in tech, and if you I would and if you're looking for maybe like going somewhere outside of Nepal for tech stuff, I would recommend Sweden a lot. It's a great place to live.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you, sir, for like for giving this great like podcast. Like it's great to talk to you, and
Yes.
yeah,